Dear Diary. Back at the castle, everyone was patting each other on the back or jerking each other off on a job well done. Except for Frog, that self-depreciating handsome fuck. He was pretty upset about his failure to guard the queen and decided to run away from home. Damn it, Frog! You're the only reason I want to play this game. But Frog was long gone. I was stuck with the royal court and the chancellor who was like, "We must create a criminal justice system." No shit, Sherlock. You guys just letting criminals and monsters run loose? What kind of kingdom is this? Before I could blow a gasket, Luca reminded me that Marl, aka Princess Nadia, was probably back to one piece now. And sure enough, we found her upstairs, oblivious to our adventures. She explained she really was the runaway Princess Nadia. Doi! And only disguised herself because I wouldn't have shown her around the fair otherwise. Don't be silly, Marl. You're a pebble in my shoe regardless of your status. Now shut your cake hole so we can go home. Back at the original warp hole, Luca was stroking her own ego about how amazingly big her brain was. Simmer down there. Sure, you've achieved what no other human being has been able to accomplish, but nobody likes a showboat. Do you think Einstein walked around wearing a pair of arrogant pants? Because he didn't. Bring it down a notch. Back at the fair, Marl was just as bubbly as ever and invited us over to the castle for dinner. Before we could even answer, she was like, "That's the most fun I've had in months." Hold up. When you came back from not existing, you said, and I quote, "I was somewhere cold, dark, ... and lonely." Is that what it's like to ... die? So experiencing death is the most fun you've had in months? LOL, girl, you wild. While Luca scampered off to invent something, I took Wildcat home to the castle, just thinking about that scrumptious feast we were gonna have. But I should have known shit was gonna hit the fan. Not only was there not gonna be a feast, we weren't even gonna get a damn snack. As soon as we walked through the front door, the Chancellor was on our ass like, "Where have you been?" And Marl was like, "You're not my real dad." And the Chancellor was like, "That boy there, he kidnapped you and brainwashed you. Seize him, clones of Kurt Russell with a crew cut. This Stargate ain't gonna blow itself up." To Marl's credit, she tried to tell him what happened, but the Chancellor was like, "Silly woman, there's no room for both your logic and my huge throbbing man dick. Take him away." I liked you better as a monster. And that's how I ended up on trial in this massive courtroom that's obviously overcompensating for something. I tried my best to tell the truth, but I was completely railroaded. This is not what your ancestor meant about creating a criminal justice system, you son of a bitch. A couple of witnesses were called to speak on my character, and I sure was glad I helped that little girl find her cat, but totally regretted talking to this mook while holding Marl's pendant. In the end, I was found guilty and was sentenced to be executed in 3 days. So does that mean we're not going to have supper? Once again, Marl tried to step in, but she was quickly shushed by her father, King Moron. "I'll show you behave like a princess. Let me play as Marl. I'll punch all these fuckers in the dick." No wonder she ran away from home. Fucking a-holes. I was then whisked away to Criminal Tower, where after being brutalized by guards, I was thrown into a cell. Immediately I began to pitch a fit, started banging on the bars. "Y'all suckers ain't keeping me down." The guards became super irritated and opened the cell door to teach me a lesson. Mistake. As soon as the gate opened, bam, I was out of there and went on a rage-fueled murder spree. I killed every guard and weird skeleton thing that I came across. You see what happens when you treat people like criminals? They start acting like them. I don't care if you're guilty, I don't care if you're innocent and just trying to get through a Wednesday. You're gonna die. Plus, I need the XP. I did manage to set some poor soul free. Chances are, if his trial went like mine, he was probably also innocent. Either that or I just set a murderer free. Only time will tell. Eventually, I found my way to the front desk where I threatened a bad Yelp review, but Luca burst in to help. Thanks, Luca. You're about a year too late. Before bouncing, I decided to read this conspicuous document that conveniently fell to the floor. It contained info about a dragon tank, something about destroying its head first. Cool, I'll stick that in the old memory bank. But it turns out I didn't need to worry about forgetting that piece of info, because I was immediately faced with a goddamn dragon tank. How do you think they got it up the stairs? You think they just assembled it here? Like on this little bridge? Kinda weird that it would just be here on this bridge. I feel like it would do more damage, you know, patrolling the outside of the castle. But what do I know? I'm not a sexist king. Finally, on the third try, we were able to defeat it and then use the Chancellor as a bridge. Ha! See ya, jerk! One thing was for certain though, this was a really bad dinner. Until next time, your friend Brittany Saturn.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here in our forum, the People's Court.